What's up guys, it's Dono. I got a question asking how to build your confidence when you're rapping, so I'm going to give you 5 quick tips that you can use to boost your confidence. So having confidence when rapping is a struggle for a lot of beginners, as well as a lot of individuals who are really deep into lyricism. The same type of reflection and introspection that allows you to write really good lyrics also often comes with a pretty harsh inner critic. So there's a couple things that we can do to help get over this. However, at the end of the day, mostly what it's going to be about is just being uncomfortable and pushing through. As you get that experience, you're going to get better and you're going to feel better about what you're doing. But let's talk about the different realms in which you can do this. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is memorize your lines. Make sure that if you're recording or if you're performing, that you have your stuff down, because if you don't, that's when you start feeling less confident, right? If you're like, I don't know if I can even remember my next line, I don't know if I can remember the rhyme for this. If you are struggling with that component, it's going to eat at your self-esteem and your confidence really quickly. You're not going to feel really strong, like if you don't even know what you're saying. The other reason to memorize your lines is because you don't have to focus as much on what you're trying to say. You can focus on the actual delivery, because if you're focused on trying to remember the lines or reading them, that will actually make you sound less confident, even if you are confident, because you're using energy and thought processes to understand your lines and read them, as opposed to making a strong delivery. The next strategy you can use to build your confidence is to freestyle way more often. Now, the reason that you're going to want to freestyle a lot is because you're on the spot and you're forced to come up with content. Almost all the time, some to most of those lines are not going to be very strong. So when you freestyle a lot, you have to become comfortable with pretty much any content you make. Then the nice thing is, when you're writing, you will feel so much more confident because those lines have actually had a lot of thought put behind them and they're going to sound a lot better. So by freestyling a lot and being comfortable with a probably lower quality, not always, but most likely it is, just because you don't have as much time, you're going to get more confident in what you actually write. Another technique that you can try is visualization. Now, you need to have your stuff memorized to do this, but essentially before you actually perform your stuff, you can take a few minutes, close your eyes, and play the song and delivery out in your head. Use as much detail as you possibly can so that when you actually do it, you know exactly how it's going to feel, how it's going to come across, what you're going to sound like, etc., etc. So you can try a couple visualizations to see if that helps. It works for some, it doesn't work for others. The next thing that you can do is perform in front of people. Now, this is going to be one of the more difficult things that you can do, right? Probably a lot of you don't feel confident, especially in front of other people, but there's a couple components to this. One is that you just need to push through and get the experience. The more that you perform in front of others, the more easily it's going to come to you. You're going to lose some of your stage fright. Now, you may not lose all of it. You still may get nerves before you perform in front of somebody, but the more you've done it, the more naturally it will come to you. In addition, performing in front of people is going to give you access to feedback, right? It doesn't have to be a performance at a bar or at a venue. You can just perform for a couple people doing freestyles or verses or songs or whatever. But having access to some feedback from people can be really useful. Now, you have to be prepared to take criticism, and you have to realize that not everyone is great at giving feedback. So when you get feedback, look for specific details you can work on. If somebody says that sucked or that's great, neither of those have information that can help you. But if someone says something like, well, your flow didn't quite seem to be on beat, that's something that you can actually look into and work with. So as much as possible, look for those details. If people aren't giving them to you, try to dig them out a little bit deeper, but be ready to take some criticism. The last thing that you can do to build up your confidence is get into a cipher group, which basically just means you take turns freestyling, or in some cases spitting verses, but it's basically a group of everyone rapping and practicing. This is going to be one of the most useful tools that you can have because it allows you in real time to perform in front of other people who also rap, so that means they can probably give you better feedback. But the one caveat is, depending on the group that you're in, you may need to come with a decent amount of skill or be prepared to be ridiculed a bit, right? Cyphers do often come with a bit of braggadocio, a little bit of, messing with each other, that kind of stuff. So just be prepared for that, or make sure you find a group that understands you're a beginner and wants to help you out. Now, a lot of the groups that I've been in do work that way, but occasionally there's a little bit of chest thumping to show who's best, and it can result, if you're a beginner and already not that confident, in kind of being, harassed a little bit. Another nice thing about Cyphers is it's relatively easy to find a Cypher group online, so that's a great place to start because it's going to be easier since it won't be face to face. Plus, you can kind of screen the people a little bit, and you have a chance to kind of see what other people are doing without jumping in, right? If there's a Cypher group locally, you might have to actually stand there or be with them to see it, but online, you can just kind of look and see what they're doing for a while before you get comfortable and jump in yourself. The other thing is, online gives you an advantage if there's no local groups. So those are just 5 quick tips that you can use to start building up your confidence. If you do these things regularly, you're going to feel better about your rapping. You just need more experience, and especially in the social realm, right? You have to be ready to start taking feedback, to start interacting with people. That's what's really going to build your confidence. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's not fun for a lot of you, but that's what's going to get you to the next level. Keep working on all your individual skills, and the confidence is going to build up over time. That's all I've got for this video. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, throw them down in the box below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. I've also got a full 30-day how to rap course. I have a link down below, and I've got a website, rapbetter.com, where you can check out some more resources. That's it. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos, and if you have any questions, comments, or topics you want me to cover, leave them down in the box below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you next time.